I think I've got to say, right at the start, being successful in getting a role at what was Thompson's at the time. I was a late starter with study, so as a mature age person, I was thrilled to actually get a role in such a great firm. You know, following that, developing and working with a client base, I really enjoyed the challenges of providing advice on tax and commercial issues with clients and working with great clients. Obviously becoming a partner in the firm, 2001 that happened, and that was a real thrill for me. You know, to join the leadership team of such a great organisation really was a thrill. And you may not remember, but that was the time GST was introduced into Australia in 2000. And the opportunity to take a leading role in educating our clients about what that meant. That was a massive change in our tax system at the time. And to be able to take a leading role within the firm also was a real highlight. Taking on the chief executive role 5 years ago, also another highlight. So yeah, there's been lots of personal highlights. I think on a firm basis, just watching what's happened to our firm and how our firm's been developing and growing and changing over a long period of time has also been a real highlight. I think it's fair to say enormous changes in both. You know, obviously in accounting and financial services, massive changes in legislation over the last 20 years. But I think from our firm's perspective, you know, many people in business would say the introduction of technology, you know, not just our industry, but industry generally, that's made a massive change to the way we actually do business. It's made a massive way to the way we interact with our clients. So that's been a significant change. I can literally remember when people used to come to us with a shoebox full of receipts, and it is just so different now. I think the changes within the firm that I've seen, you know, the way the firm's been structured internally, the way that's changed over time, the introduction of some of our regional offices, the introduction of an office in Broken Hill in the Riverland, you know, I guess some of the more exciting changes that I've seen. I think two fantastic blokes, and in fact our whole leadership team are made up of fantastic people. Anthony Venieri and Julian Maloney, both very experienced advisors and professionals in their own right. But I think more importantly, both have been part of our leadership team for a long time. Both are experienced leaders, both within the firm and in roles outside the firm. Both extremely driven young men, innovative. I've got no doubt they'll continue with the changes that we've already commenced. And I think also our leadership team itself, we've had a settled, strong, consistent leadership team for some time now. And I've got no doubt that Anthony and Julian will be well supported by all members of our leadership team. I've got no doubts whatsoever about the future of our firm and the future of our leadership. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I remember leaving high school because I didn't like Chinese history and accounting, and it's quite funny now to find myself quite a few years later, leaving the accounting environment. What brought about the change? I must say, I bumped into a gentleman that ultimately became a mentor of mine, a guy called Viv Elliott. At the time, I was running the Showboat Avoca for a couple of local businessmen. And Viv was the business administrator of that organisation, and it was through my interaction with Viv and talking to Viv and seeing how he went about administering and accounting for the transactions of that business, that gave me a different insight into what accounting was, and Viv actually encouraged me to do some work, and so it was while I was working on the Avoca I actually commenced an accounting degree, and was fortunate enough to finish that and obtain a position here. So. Here I am, an accountant, some many years later. Yes, who would have thought? That's a great question. I think there's no doubt. I think in 10 years' time we'll be standing here and we will have a firm that has continued to grow and develop. I think we'll have a firm that has continued to be well led. I've got no doubt about that whatsoever. I think we'll have a firm that continues to deliver a wide range of financial services. But I know that the leadership team at the moment will continue to innovate, and I think we'll see changes in the way that we deliver our services. And I think the ultimate benefactor of those changes will be our clients. I think they will see continued improvement in service. I think we'll also see the creation of some real experts in our firm. You know, there's a focus on training and quality people in our firm. That's always been a part of our history, and I've got no doubt that will continue. So yeah, I'm very confident about what this firm will look like in 10 years' time. Yes, it's interesting, isn't it? I think you know, I've enjoyed my time advising people in business and also physically running this business myself. I guess at a high level, what would I say? People in business need to have a very, very clear view about what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how they're going to achieve their plans. I think there's a real need to continue to innovate. I've talked about innovative leaders here, and we've innovated internally here a lot. But anyone in business, I think, these days needs to continue to innovate and develop their business. And I think that innovation needs to be right across the whole business, you know, through our product development, through our internal processes, through our marketing, through distribution. I think anyone in business these days needs to continue to challenge the way they're doing things in their business. All clients are looking for value for money these days. I know we are clients of many other service providers, and we're looking for value for money, and our clients are looking for value for money from us. So the only way we can continue to deliver good value for money is to be continually innovating and changing the way we do business. I think ensuring that you are using technology to its best and where it's appropriate in your business, make sure you're adopting online services and an online way of interacting with your clients. I think that's critical also. Lots, plenty, I think. Certainly in the first instance, a break. There's no doubt it's time to recharge the batteries a little bit. So that's undoubtedly going to involve a fair bit of time playing golf and a bit of time perhaps playing my trumpet. But I also do want to engage in some further study. You know, I currently have a role on the board of Sunny TAFE, which I'm really enjoying. So I hope to do a lot more of that sort of work. I'm about to enrol in the Australian Institute of Company Directors course, so I'm really keen to develop that skill. But ultimately, I am looking to continue in a senior leadership role. I am looking to do that in a different industry, but there's still plenty of drive in the old fellow yet. So yeah, I think the future holds a lot, and I'm looking forward to some future challenges.